Hello, this is Steve Caldwell, CEO of Predictive People Analytics. Thank you very much for joining us, and today's topic is not your normal personality profile. Now, the reason that I titled this video that way is because I want you to understand that when you apply data to your people properly, you're going to get results that you can't believe. Most people look at personality profiles and they think, well, it's cool data, but it can't really do anything to improve my business. I know, I felt that same way myself until 1997, whenever I learned differently. So what do we talk about? What are we talking about here? Well, number one is that you can slash turnover expense. Turnover is expensive. Any executive knows that. It costs between 1.5 times salary to, could be up to 2 or 3 times salary, depending on a position. But we know that the minimum cost of turnover costs companies between $25,000 and $250,000 per person that leaves your organization. It's expensive and it affects your bottom line. But what if you could apply data to also not only reduce turnover, well, what about increase your sales conversions? What about increasing closing ratios and margins? Well, if you know how to do it and you have the right tools and systems, you absolutely can do it, and I'm going to show you how. And then what would happen if you could increase the productivity of the people you already have on board? Even if you could increase their productivity by, say, even 1%, wouldn't that make a difference in your business? Let me talk to you about how you can do that. Well, the fact is most people don't know how, and they don't have the systems to do it. And so what they are left to doing is just using simple math. But simple math just doesn't work. Those usual solutions are, okay, we're not doing as well as we want, so what we've got to do is we've got to reduce expenses. So they look at the income statement and they start reducing general and administrative expenses, or they'll look at the balance sheet and say, okay, well, what existing assets can we sell? And so they start selling the assets, not realizing that, well, it may be a really bad time to sell those assets and you don't get the money that you need. Or then the last one that I see all the time is they'll reduce payroll. And when they look at payroll, they'll lower the head count, or they'll do it either through natural attrition or layoffs, thinking that these will actually increase productivity. It's forced productivity, but what if the people you laid off were the wrong people? What happens is your productivity oftentimes goes down and you don't get the result that you wanted. So you got to be smarter than that. Well, let me just show you a few examples of how we've helped companies. Number one, here is a company, a medical equipment supplies company, and what we did is we used people analytics to reduce turnover. And it was expensive. It was costing them 150% of annual salary per person. Their goal was to reduce turnover by 10%. So what we did is that we determined what the job needed, meaning what characteristics and skills the job needed. Then we looked at the people that could do that job well, and then lastly we wanted to know how could we motivate those people to do more. The result was that we successfully decreased turnover by 18%, saving that company over $500,000. That's example number one. Example number two is that you can use people analytics to increase sales conversions. We had a computer and electronics manufacturer and retailer that wanted to increase their sales conversions because it was too low and causing losses in their retail stores. Their goal was to increase the sales conversion from 5.9% to 7.4% of retail traffic. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at a number of visitors that was coming in, that's a lot of money to that company. So what we did is we trained the sales force using behavioral skills as well as sales skills, and we taught the salespeople how to use behavior to create fast relationships, how we could actually know the needs of the customer, and how to solve those needs with existing products. The result was that we were able to increase the sales conversions to 8.9% of the people that were coming in the stores, and that in effect paid for over 100% of implementation costs and added over $500,000 to the bottom line. The third case is what happens if you've merged with another firm and You've done a post-merger integration. Anybody that's ever bought a firm knows this is really difficult to do. You've got different cultures, different management styles, different people. So what do? Well, their goal was to integrate the firms while maintaining culture and creating high morale. What we did is that we identified the source of conflict within each team and each company, and we relieved that tension by training managers and employees to value the differences by using their own individual strengths. The result was a successful integration that achieved their goals and increased their profits by over 200%. So whether it's sales or turnover or maybe even something in between, we can certainly help. This shows you that. Now, there are many other ways you can use people analytics to give you power. You can use it to increase sales performance. We talked about that. We can do leadership development, teach your managers how to become real leaders. We can work through strategic organization development, how to streamline your organization in a way that makes sense. We can help you navigate through change management, a really big topic for today. We can do job analysis to help you understand what skills and behaviors need to be in each job. You can use it to increase employee engagement, and everybody wants to increase engagement. That's how you get productivity up. Then, of course, we can use it to recruit and select the right people so that when you do have turnover, you're putting the right person in the job, not the wrong person. We can help you understand how to communicate with your teams so that you can communicate effectively with people that are not like you. Retention, of course, that's how we lower turnover. Coaching, we can show you how to coach people so that you can coach them to success by leveraging their natural strengths, not trying to put something in there that didn't exist. Performance management, everybody should want to increase productivity of their company. And then team effectiveness, who hasn't worked with teams that were ineffective and were in conflict? We can help you through that. One of my favorites, succession planning. Succession planning, everybody wants to have bench members that are strong so that when you do make changes, you've got capable people that can step up. We can show you exactly how to identify them and what you need to do to train them to get them ready for that next level. And then lastly, conflict resolution. Many companies come to us because they've had conflict and it's causing problems that is affecting morale and productivity. We can address all of these and many more. So what's your step? Well, the next step is simply to let us prove it to you. I'll be more than happy to give you a free review. Or if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, go to PredictivePeopleAnalytics.com and click on the Prove It To Me Steve link. We will be in contact and we'll show you exactly how we do what we do. I know it will benefit both you and your company. I hope you'll take me up on my free offer today. Take care and thanks for watching.